Once upon a time, in a busy town, there lived a merchant who supported his family by selling salt. He had a wife and two sons. His elder son was very shy and hesitant to speak to others, while his younger son was confident and outgoing. People often consider the elder son foolish due to his reserved nature. Many even took advantage of his innocence, but he never complained. The merchant was frequently frustrated by his elder son's timid behavior and even scolded him harshly. However, this only worsened the boy's self-esteem. As the elder son grew up, his lack of confidence affected his education. During exams, fear prevented him from writing the answers, and he struggled to learn. Eventually, when he became a young man, his father asked him to help with the family business. Afraid of disappointing his father, he agreed, but his nervousness often led to mistakes, making his father even angrier. One day, while the merchant was away, some cunning men came to the shop and falsely claimed, "Your father has sent us to take all the salt sacks to the city." The young man hesitated to question them, and before he could react, they took all the goods. When his father returned and found the shop empty, he was furious. "You fool! You let them steal everything. You have caused me a great loss. Get out of my sight and never return." The young man was devastated. His father's anger, the townspeople's laughter, and his helplessness made him feel worthless. Heartbroken, he wandered to the riverbank, overwhelmed with shame. He thought, "There's no point in living anymore. I will always be a failure." Just as he was about to jump into the river, a young disciple passing by saw him and pulled him back to safety. The young man angrily asked, "Why did you save me? My life is useless. I cannot do anything right." The disciple gently replied, "Life is given only once. If you are alive, you can overcome failure and find success. But if you give up, you will never know what you are truly capable of." The young man shared his sorrows. "I am shy and weak. Because of this, my father hates me. I have no education, and people call me a fool. Does someone like me even deserve to live?" The disciple smiled and said, "My teacher can answer your question. Come with me." At first, the young man refused, but after much persuasion, he followed the saint to his master's ashram. There, under a large tree, sat a great saint deep in meditation. The disciple and the young man bowed before him. As soon as the young man saw him, he broke into tears. The saint asked, "Why are you crying, my child?" The young man replied, "You are my last hope. If you cannot help me, I will end my life." The saint calmly asked him to share his problems, and the young man narrated his entire life story. After listening carefully, the saint said, "I have a solution for you, but before I tell you, you must follow my instructions for the next 3 days. If you complete my tasks, I promise your life will change." Desperate for hope, the young man agreed. On the first day, the saint instructed, "Go and speak to 10 strangers. Ask them about their life and write down their answers." The young man hesitated but followed the saint's advice. Some people ignored him, while others were rude, but he continued trying. By evening, he had spoken to 10 people and even made a few new friends. Proud of his achievement, he returned to the saint and reported his success. On the second day, the saint said, "Today, you must teach 10 young students about the importance of water." The young man was shocked. "I have no proper education. How can I teach?" he protested. The saint smiled and said, "Those children do not know that you feel uneducated. Just share whatever you already know." Nervously, the young man stood in front of the students. His hands trembled, but he started speaking. He explained 5 important uses of water and quickly ran away. When he returned to the saint, he said, "I was so scared, but I did it." The saint replied, "Try again." This time, the young man spoke with more confidence. By the end of the lesson, he realized he was no longer afraid. The saint praised him. "See, you're braver than you think." On the third day, the saint gave the most challenging task. "Today, You must visit your father and ask for his forgiveness." The young man was terrified. "No, he will never forgive me. I cannot face him." The saint firmly said, "If you refuse, I will not give you the final solution." Gathering all his courage, the young man returned home. He humbly apologized to his father, promising to prove his worth. Seeing the change in his son, the merchant forgave him and gave him another chance in the business. When the young man returned to the saint and asked for the secret to success, the saint smiled. "You have already discovered it yourself. Your biggest enemy was not your shyness. It was your fear. People see you as you present yourself. Even if you feel weak, act confident, and no one will doubt you. True strength comes from believing in yourself." With tears of gratitude, the young man bowed before the saint. "I understand now. I will not let fear control my life anymore. I will prove to the world that I am capable." Years later, that same young man became a respected businessman, known for his wisdom and confidence. Confidence is not something we are born with. It is something we build. Even the shyest person can become strong if they choose to believe in themselves. Our biggest limits exist only in our minds. Fear and self-doubt can hold us back, but courage and persistence can change everything. The young man thought he was destined to fail, but by facing his fears, he transformed his life. Confidence grows when we step beyond our comfort zones. The world sees us the way we choose to present ourselves. Believe in yourself, take small steps forward, and you will find strength you never knew you had.